Is it possible to fix Barcelona without spending any money? The answer is yes. Yes, it is very possible indeed. So Bartomeu, I hope you're watching. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today we are going to be taking a look at a very nice exercise. We're going to be trying to rebuild Barcelona for the 2020 and 2021 season without spending a single euro. So yes, in fact, you will see my opinion on which players should Barcelona sign and which players should Barcelona sell, as well as what I think the first team lineup will look for the next season. So if you're hyped for this video, guys, be sure to drop us a like, leave us a subscribe, turn the bell notification icon, and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. You have noticed that I haven't posted much on YouTube, but it doesn't mean that you have not seen content, because there's been content on Instagram and on TikTok as well. So go there and check it out, because when nothing's happening on YouTube, then something's happening over there. So the first step as to trying to rebuild Barcelona without any money being spent is what kind of source of income can we get? And the main source, of course, has to be selling players. So I've made a list of all the players I think we should sell and their values next to it, so that we can get an idea of how much money can we bring in without letting money go out. That is the first step that Barcelona should take IRL, and we're doing in this exercise as well. So the first player that I'm gonna sell is gonna be Moussa Wagué, and I have valued him for 8 to 10 million euros. Then we have Samuel Umtiti, which I've also valued at 30 to 35 million euros. Rakitic about 20, Rafinha about 12, Martin Braithwaite, which breaks my heart, around 18, Aleñá, which also breaks my heart, around 15, Norberto Neto at 20, and Griezmann at 80 million euros. The last three players, Junior Firpo, Arturo Vidal, and Nelson Semedo, I have valued at, well, Junior Firpo 20, Vidal at 20, and Nelson Semedo at around 40 to 50 million euros, but they won't be sold. Those three players are going to be included in trade deals, and I'm going to explain in a little bit more of them later down the road. But if you have doubts about any of my kind of selection of these players and why I'm selling them, I made tons of video on them previously, and I'm going to link right now here, probably on the screen somewhere around here, a video where I explain every single player and I tell you why I would sell them. So that video could probably answer some of your questions. So if all of that being taken into account, if we add all of the numbers of the players that I would be able to sell, not including the trade deals, we would get around 210 million euros. If we manage to sell all of the players for their top order value, so Umtiti, which is valued currently between 30 and 35, if we actually manage to sell him for 35 million euros, and all of the players same like that, we could get possibly upwards of 210 million euros. You do the math, guys. I use a calculator, I'm not dumb. So after knowing that, we can finally move onwards to what we need to bring. And I'm bringing 5 players, guys. I'm bringing 5 new signings, and you will see which of them are. The first one is going to be Lautaro Martinez, which I think we're gonna be spending around 60 million euros, because we're doing some trades there as well, which, like I said, I'm gonna explain a little bit. The other player that we're going to be bringing in is a left winger, and that is Jadon Sancho, which we're going to be losing there about 80 million euros. And we're also going to be doing some trades there as well. The third player is going to be Jadon UPAMECANO, which I think is going to be worth around 40 million euros if Barca try to get him. And the last two are Emerson and Cucurella, which are currently out on loan or either, well, out of the club, but could get bought back around 50 million euros each. So those are the 5 players that I would be targeting to bring in this next transfer window. So the way that I would carry out the following transfers are very specific deals. And in fact, there are 4 of those deals. And you gotta remember, guys, that for these transfers, there's been equal amount of money coming in as we are having money coming out. Because as you remember, we add up all the players that we are selling, all the outs, and we kind of got a sum of 210 million euros. And all the players coming in, we also got a sum of 210 million euros. I'm gonna be explaining the Lautaro transfer at the end, because that one is the most important one and it requires a little bit more time. But well, Deal number one would be just simply buy Marco Correa and Emerson. Literally pay for their kind of buyback clause and get them into the club right now. Letting go of Jadon Sancho would open up a space for Emerson, and he would be an ideal substitute right there. Good enough to compete for Sergio Roberto for that first place, but still not kind of 100% assured that he will take right from the get-go. I think the very same thing for Marco Correa, and there are two very promising fullbacks out there in the world right now. So I think that for 50 million euros each, it will be a very good signing basically. So until there, we have lost 30 million euros, which not technically we're not losing, remember, because we have to get 210. So be in mind, take in your head that all of the things that we're losing here in these transfer deals, all of them have to add up to 210. So deal number two would involve Upamecano to Barcelona from RB Leipzig, and that's very simple as well. Simply pay 40 million euros to RB Leipzig and get the player in return. So if you add that to the 30 million that we had before from the first deal, we will get 70 million. So until there, we're fine. We're still within our budget. Transfer deal number three. And this one is one where I need your guys' opinion on. And leave it in the comment box down below because it's very important. Personally, as a Barcelona fan, I would do the following. I would pay to Dortmund 80 million euros for Jadon Sancho, plus offering Ansu Fati and Jean-Claire Todibo in a 2-year loan deal. Ansu Fati without an obligation to buy, literally just simply a straight up loan, and Jean-Claire Todibo with that obligation to buy. I think that would be good enough and suited to Dortmund to actually get those two players in return. To get Sancho also his money to kind of go down, I think it will be perfect of a deal because they will be getting a young winger, very similar to Jadon Sancho, and someone who can develop. And as a Barcelona fan, I think Dortmund is one of the best clubs with the best environments to actually develop players like Ansu Fati. I think he would grow so much there. And the very same thing with Jean-Claire Todibo. Currently, the center back options for Dortmund are kind of limited. They have to play Lucas Piszczek as that third center back. And even though he has been doing amazing, because literally in the Der Klassiker that just happened today, or yesterday, I don't remember, Lucas Piszczek was one of the main players there. So I think that all of that together could make it a very tasty deal for Dortmund. If they get 80 million euros for Sancho, plus an amazing winger with great talent for 2 years on a loan, and then the possibility of another great center back to buy him of an obligation to buy possibly in 2 years' time as well, I think it's good enough for a deal for Dortmund. And the thing why I'm leaving Todibo there with an obligation to buy and not kind of like Ansu Fati, because remember, Ansu Fati is just a straight loan, Todibo 2 years and has an option to buy. Why would I do that to Todibo? Well, the thing is that for Barcelona, we are bringing Dayot Upamecano, and we are seeing how he transitions into the position and he's able to match up Gerard Piqué. Because I think that Upamecano, if you compare them between Upamecano and Todibo in the current situations that we're putting out there, I think that Todibo actually has more of time to grow. I'm not saying that Todibo will become a better player, but certainly he will be getting more game time at Dortmund that Upamecano will be getting at Barcelona. So we have to see how that develops, and if in fact, let's say Upamecano doesn't develop as fast as we want and he doesn't overtake Gerard Piqué as the main starter center back, then we can bring Todibo in after those 2 years if Dortmund doesn't want to buy him. So we can see kind of the spectrum and how it develops, because right now there is not space in our center back positions to have both Upamecano and Todibo. And plus, like I said, Todibo is a very big key in reducing the price for someone like Jadon Sancho. And that's another thing. We need someone like Sancho right now in our team. We need a winger like that with that ability. So yeah, that is what I would do it for deal number 3. So until then, 70 plus 80, we would be having a budget of 150 million euros. And that is still within the 210 that we set at the start of the video. And last but not least, guys, we have deal number 4. And this one is the Lautaro deal. And there are 2 ways that I think this deal could happen. The very first of those is wasting the 60 million euros that are within our budget, and that would push us all the way up to 210 simply on just paying Lautaro straight up. And then we're including on top of that either 4 players, 3 players together and then 1 separate. The 1 separate would be Antoine Griezmann. I would either tell Inter to just swap Antoine Griezmann. Let's see if they like that. If not, then remember we have that 60 extra million euros and we kind of push it up all the way until Inter give up. I think that could be a strategy from Barcelona, or we offer the 60 million euros straight up plus Junior Firpo, Arturo Vidal and Nelson Semedo. Either way, Barcelona are still within the budget. They're still within the budget, that's the thing, guys. And you can see that with this exercise, then we move onwards to what I think would be the lineup. I will be having a very interesting team, reducing the average age of the squad by a landslide, and really having new players there to develop, as well as the youngsters that are still in the team. So my main starting 11 would be as following. You would see Marc-André ter Stegen, you would see Sergio Roberto for the right, Gerard Piqué, Lenglet, and Jordi Alba, a very similar defense to what we have now. Then we would see Busquets, De Jong, and Arthur as the midfield. And then up top, you could see Jadon Sancho pairing up with Lautaro Martinez and Lionel Messi. This makes this starting 11 more powerful because we have that Jadon Sancho that we're lacking, that player, that dynamic winger that we do not have right now, that has tons of potential, and then we get this young, fresh striker in Lautaro Martinez without conceding necessarily the areas of the midfield and the defense. We do not make so many changes there, but we made the changes on the sub bench. So seeing here at the kind of second starting 11 for Barcelona, or the substitute 11 if you like, we would have Iñaki Peña as a substitute goalkeeper. There we would promote La Masia even more, have this young player there. For the right, we could potentially see Emerson, like I said. Then the center backs, Sancho UPAMECANO and Ronald Araujo from Uruguay. In the left back position, I would go with Marco Correa. In the midfield, we would see Coutinho coming back from Bayern Munich. I think Coutinho could be a very good asset. I made a video on that so many times. So my decision is to keep someone like Philippe Coutinho. There in the other players in the midfield, we would see Riqui Puig get more game time, and then Pedri coming from Las Palmas. Normally Barcelona, throughout this entirety of the season, has used 5 midfielders. Have used Arthur, De Jong, Busquets, Rakitic, and Vidal. Only 5 midfielders. So those 5 midfielders, technically, in my eyes, would be, you know, Arthur, De Jong, Busquets, Riqui Puig, and Philippe Coutinho. I think that would be a good kind of midfield 5. And then João Pedri. Why did I say João Pedri? And then Pedri can come in and either play as that extra midfielder if someone gets injured, or that extra forward up top, because as you can see, my front 3 of the substitutes are Luis Suarez having at the wings Ousmane Dembele and Francisco Trincao. So with this exercise, guys, you can see that it's possible to rebuild the entire team without spending any money. And more importantly, what I think is crucial is that we are not wasting players like Dembele and Coutinho. We have Antoine Griezmann, and this one pains me a lot, but I don't know exactly where he's gonna fit. His time for Barcelona was honestly a year too late. I have that thing here in my heart saying it, because he's an amazing player, and I love him here at Barca. He looks very crucial. But we're pursuing another striker in Lautaro. We are pursuing another winger in Neymar. Where is Antoine Griezmann going to play? In here, I told you that the best signings, of course, we could make would be Lautaro and Jadon Sancho. And if those two come in still, Antoine Griezmann, where is he gonna play? You could potentially, instead of bringing Sancho, you could bring Neymar and maybe offload Griezmann and Dembele to PSG. That could be an option, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to balance the books. But if you sell Antoine Griezmann, which still has a lot more value than Coutinho and Dembele, it is possible to make this rebuild. Look at the players we brought in. We brought in 2 of the best, most promising fullbacks, and so young as well, in Emerson and Correa. We brought in an amazing, promising center back in UPAMECANO. And we brought in 2 amazing forwards in Jadon Sancho right now, who's 20 years old. And then Lautaro Martinez, who's 21. I'm 22, sorry. So you can just see at how much we have improved the age of our team as well. And then again, you're giving chances to Riqui Puig, you're giving chances to Iñaki Peña, you're giving chances to I keep saying João Pedri. Pedri. So yeah, you're giving chances to younger players that deserve that. Ronald Araujo as well. Francisco Trincao. And Ansu Fati and Todibo can potentially return in 2 years, where Piqué is no more and then Suarez is no more. You see, guys, how this could potentially help our team in the long run. I think this is the way that Barcelona should do business. And I want you guys to do the same exercise in the comment box down below, making the signings that you want. Let me know. I'm very excited to see if you enjoyed this video. It was very fun making it. I think that this is the way to fix Barcelona without spending a single euro. So hopefully, guys, you have enjoyed. Be sure to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe if you did. It's been quite a few days, but I think this video was worth it. And then afterwards, the next video, if no transfer news appears, is going to be that video finally that was requested by one of you guys. I'm going to be trying to do that every single week. So get thinking, because on that video, I want to know your suggestions for the one following that. So yeah, that's going to be it for right now. See you in the next one. Take care.